Okay, we're ready.
Okay, I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Angelia Bills Chair, Justin Randall Vice Chair. The Department of Planning staff members are Debbie Nesbitt, Mel Wilson, Ashra Mikla-Mathalaka, and Shane Stryler. Also on the call today is John Burford from the County Council's office. First, I'd like to offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, June 28th, 2023. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended. Next, I'd like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of June 14th, 2023.
So moved.
I second it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Uh, This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. Planning staff members will read each request into the record and present technical advice to the board if needed. Petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardship. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To do so, click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, the staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion is ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. Since there are only two members present, if the board's vote is split 1-1, the request will be continued to the next regularly scheduled meeting when all three members are present. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed to the.
First, we have 3823 State of Missouri Hazelwood East High School requests an exception to the front yard and sign regulations for the purpose of replacing signage at 11300 Dunn Road, maintaining a front yard of 10 feet in lieu of 20 feet, a sign size of 62 square feet in lieu of 50 square feet, and a sign height of 12 feet in lieu of 8 feet, as required by the C8 Planned Commercial District Regulations, Section 1003.168, sign regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, and C8 Ordinance 18,342. Joe, you should be able to unmute yourself to state your
Yes,
name and
ma'am,
your
I did.
presentation.
Good evening. My name is Joe Phillips. I'm with Pyro Signs. I am representing the school district, Hazelwood East, which is where the school is at there on the property owned by the state of Missouri. Currently at the site, there is a 50 square foot sign out there in that same, I guess, grassy field that we're hoping to put a sign in the little triangle area right there inside their entrance. It is currently 50 square feet, 12 feet overall height, and at 20 feet, 20-foot setback. The sign was built in approximately 1993, so it's roughly a 30-year-old sign at this point, and it's kind of outlived its usefulness and it's outlived its life over there. So we've tried to do repairs on it over the years, but it's kind of hit that point of costing more than it's really worth. So the school would like to put a new sign 10 feet closer to the roadway. The current sign is approximately 135 feet from the edge of Dunn Road. So the new sign, we'd like to put about 10 feet closer to 125 feet. We're hoping at that point, when you pull into the facility, you can actually see the sign a little bit better before you turn either way to get to whatever parking lot you're going to, just to be able to visualize the sign and actually be able to read it. The sign head itself is 53.89 square feet. That's with the reader board and the sign cabinet on top. The other 8 square feet is of the vinyl that we have on the pole cover to show people that is both the high school and the middle school right there with that facility. As I said, we're just trying to move it 10 feet closer. The existing sign, as I said, is a little bit smaller, 50 square feet. It's the same height, what we're proposing. We're just trying to move it a little bit closer, so when you do pull in the facility, you can actually see the sign a little bit quicker, get to actually read it before you go too far, before you start making your turn within the facility. Also hoping to get a little bit more visibility from Dunn Road. Even the 10 feet up at least gets us out of some of the street trees and that are around it. So the hope with that is to gain that extra little bit of visibility that they can get right there along Dunn Road. That is their main entrance into the property as well.
Betsy, do you have any questions?
I meant to say at the beginning when I read the request that staff did prepare a report where we are recommending approval of this, noting, and you can see on this slide, the sort of irregular configuration of the property line, the way it's inset from the edge of Dunn Road here. So if the property line were, if it followed where it's closest to Dunn Road, they wouldn't have this issue.
Yeah.
Any questions, Justin?
No, that answered all my questions.
Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
We only have petitioners in attendance, so
Okay.
there are no hands.
Well, I'm very familiar with this area, so hearing none, 38-20, is it 38 or 39? 38. 38-23, I vote to approve the variance as advertised. The hardship just being the need for increased visibility in that area.
And I would second that with the caveat also of the irregular right-of-way line that Mel mentioned.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's the same.
Next is 3922 William Stone, requests an exception to the lot coverage requirements for the purpose of constructing a deck around a portion of an existing above-ground swimming pool at 6407 Weber Road, maintaining a lot coverage of 9.6% in lieu of 7% as required by the R5 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. Mr. Stone, you should be able to unmute now to give your name for the record and make your presentation.
Hi, so my name is William Stone. I'm the property owner at 6407 Weber. So this picture, we actually were here last year, like last fall or so, to get the pool put in and get the variance approved for the existing swimming pool. At the time, the ladder served the purpose fine. The issue that we're having is we have some family members that the top of the existing ladder that goes into the pool, you basically have, a foot by foot section to make a turn to turn around so that you're going down the ladder safely. We're basically just trying to build a small 10 by 10 deck, engineered decking with locking gate, meeting all the pool codes, working with Chesterfield Fence and Deck on that one, to basically make it easier for family members to actually be able to get into the pool and not be a safety risk for them, as far as being unstable and not being able to make that turnaround. So looking at it from the standpoint, we're about 90 feet from the rear of the deck to the rear of the property line, and anywhere between, I think it was 16 and 20 feet on either side away from the property line to our existing neighbors. So, I mean, if you have any questions about engineering or anything, I'm probably not your guy, but we are working, the plans are all drawn up by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. It is an engineered deck. Yeah, so you'll see it would go over on this far side to the left. And then that ladder, like I said, it's just not great as far as being able to turn around.
Well, basically, you're saying your hardship is just it's kind of hard to navigate the ladder that's there currently.
Yeah, so my father-in-law and myself are having a few issues where basically where you climb up out of the pool, going into the pool is easy, right? Getting out of the pool, you basically have to climb up those stairs at the top, make a 180-degree turn, and go backward down the stairs to exit safely. And there's just some stability issues, kind of getting your bearing. So trying to have some space where we can either, help him in and out if he needs a hand, because, he is getting up there. And has had some medical issues, but he likes to enjoy the pool. And then, frankly, I'm not having a great time with it either. A little bit of vertigo. So, just trying to make something easier to get in and out of, and then able to be secured, and obviously with the locking gate and all that. Hence why we're not going for like a 30 by 30 giant deck. We just want access.
Justin, do you have any questions?
I don't necessarily have any questions at this time.
So I believe there aren't any in attendance that are in favor or opposition. That in vote.
There are none.
This was
Oh.
39, correct?
That's
Okay.
correct. This is 39.
All right. In the matter of 39-23, I recommend approval of the requested variance due to the accessibility hardships.
I second it. All those in favor? Aye.
Sorry, aye.
That's the motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Last is 40-23, David Hess requests an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a deck and stairs around a portion of the above ground swimming pool at 9443 Tiber Drive, maintaining a rear yard of 4 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R5 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. Okay, Allie, I've requested for you to unmute, so you should be able to unmute, state your name for the record, and give your presentation.
Hi, my name is Allie McKee. I am speaking on behalf of David Hess. We are also building a deck around an above ground pool. It does encroach on that distance required from the property line by 2 feet. And we want to make sure we give our client a safe amount of space to walk around the deck. It is coming off an existing deck, so we have to build stairs down into the new deck. So we just want to make sure there's plenty of room for them to walk around and sit down and get around the pool safely.
What would you say hardship for?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What would be your hardship for putting the deck in that area?
Around the pool, if we made it any smaller, we're just worried it'd be too small for someone to walk around comfortably. They would have to kind of step side to side. So we want to make sure that they have plenty of room to walk around without slipping into the pool.
Is the variance for a 15-foot setback down to 4 or a 6-foot setback down to 4?
I thought it was for 6 foot down to 4.
It looks like here on the one dimension, it's 5.5 feet. And so Debbie, I don't know if you can weigh in if we just went to 4 to give some leeway, or if that should have been a 5.
This is a double frontage lot, so that is a rear yard. Because the side yard can't be a.
Oh, I
rear
see
yard
what you're
because of
asking,
the-
Justin. You mean which is it from? We're saying it's from the rear yard.
Okay, so the code doesn't have anything for like a double front lot where if it's, has 2 fronts, it doesn't turn the sides into side, or the other 2 into sides.
Essentially, one at some point the property owner determines which is the side and which is the rear. Whether that was when it was platted or when a different improvement was made. Typically, it's kind of decided at one point.
Okay.
So
I guess okay, all right. Got it. That's all my questions. Thanks for the clarification.
Sorry, I misunderstood you at first.
No, yeah, no, it all makes sense.
Okay, so if there isn't anyone in favor or opposition, we can go ahead and vote.
Correct, there's no one.
On 40-23, I'm gonna go ahead and vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being to have a safe exit and entrance.
I'll second that. I think I would add the hardship being that they have two fronts without, where this would typically potentially be a side, so.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, guys, thank
That's the
you.
last
I
petition.
move for adjournment, right?
I'll
Hang on.
second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, Ashra, if you'll
That's
turn off
fine.
that recording.
As note,